Hey brother, Stuart Matola, men's relationship coach. Hope you're having a great day. And in this video, I'm going to talk to you about how codependence can wreck your marriage. I'm going to tell you about 4 clear signs to know if you are in codependence, how they show up in your marriage, and how you can turn those around. So notice if you have any of these behaviors or patterns. The first is people pleasing. You agree to doing things for your wife or partner because you're afraid that you'll make her unhappy. You take responsibility for her unhappiness. So notice if you do that, okay, that people pleasing. Second is an inability to set healthy boundaries, the inability to say no, the inability to say, you know what, I need to think about that, whether I can commit to that or not. Or just the ability to set a boundary and say, hey, when you raise your voice at me like that, it doesn't work for me. I check out. So my request instead is that get control of yourself and you speak to me in a calm, mature way. Okay, so people pleasing, inability to set boundaries, low what I call relational self-esteem, low relational self-esteem. I see a ton of successful guys in my practice, CEOs, badass executives who crush it at work but get crushed at home. They have great self-esteem when it comes to work, but at home with their wife or partner, they have terrible relational self-esteem. And by relational self-esteem, I mean that one place where he experiences his deepest sense of emotional needs, sexual needs, intimacy needs. He feels unworthy with his wife or partner, and he's gotten the feedback from him that he is, and that can, show up as a lack of sex, a lack of her willingness to even let him touch her, just a general lack of intimacy, and so he experiences low relational self-esteem. Okay, and so the 4th clear sign of codependence that I want to speak to you about is caretaking. Okay, that goes along with rescuing and fixing, and often it's synonymous with people pleasing. But when it comes to caretaking, it means you have to make your wife or partner okay. You caretake her. Now that's very different than being caring. And I'll talk to you about that difference a little bit more in a moment here. But caretaking says, I am responsible for the impact my behaviors have had on you, even if I've communicated in a mature and responsible and respectful way. And she still flipped out, but then I'm trying to clean up that mess, okay? You're keeping her a child in that moment, brother. So what do these 4 behaviors do to a marriage? They destroy trust. They cause this huge thing, which is synonymous with codependence, called entanglement, enmeshment, where you don't know where you begin and where she ends. And the same is true for her. And so I often speak about the DIZ in relationship, the deep intimacy zone, and that gets entangled and enmeshed. And that happens so often for married couples because we live together, we sleep in the same bed, we're seeing each other every day, we're sharing assets, our whole lives are linked and tied together. But there are ways to create healthy boundaries so that you don't have that entanglement and enmeshment. And so that leads me to speak to 4 ways to turn around those 4 unhealthy behaviors of codependence that wreck marriages. And the first, relative to people pleasing, okay? Notice that burn inside of you when you feel like you can't please your wife or partner and make her happy, okay? Be with that. That is difficult. That takes coaching. That takes the ability to learn how to emotionally self-regulate. Okay, that is a skill and that takes practice. I'm not going to BS you that you can just achieve that in a short video. Okay, learn how to be okay even when you're not pleasing her. Okay, that's going to be really healthy for the relationship, and it may cause some challenges up front because often things have to get worse before they get better. Setting healthy boundaries, noticing when you're receiving behaviors from your wife or partner that might even feel abusive or manipulative, that cause you to have to do things that you don't feel like you're aligned with, okay? That you don't feel in integrity with. So learn to set a boundary. And that may be, yeah, I can't commit to A, but I can commit to B. Or as simple as, I just give this simple example. people's lives married couples are often so enmeshed. It's like, you can ask your partner to knock on your office door before she enters so that you can, just adjust to receiving someone in that moment instead of your partner just jumping in and, hey, I need to talk about A, B, and C, and right now, and yada, yada, yada. You can set boundaries, and healthy boundaries are really good for a marriage or relationship. So the third thing about what I call low relational self-esteem, start to do things that are good for you, brother, that build up your self-esteem on your own, whether that's going to the gym, whether that's taking time for you every day just to start to learn to emotionally self-regulate, which means learning how to sit with hard emotions. And I do a ton of coaching on that, and I do it in a very action-oriented way. And I'll give you a quick example. So if I'm working with a guy as far as fear, we're going to talk about what's the fear trying to tell you. Okay, fear typically has one thing to offer you, which is safety. So you ask the fear, what are you trying to keep me safe from? I'm just going to give you a top headline on that. But your ability to learn to have healthy self-esteem and not put all your emotional and intimacy needs into your partner is going to pull you out of codependence into healthier behavioral patterns. And part of that is developing intimate relationships with other people, family members, friends, a men's group. I run a Tuesday men's call. I'll leave information to that below. It's not healthy to put all of your emotional self-esteem, your relational self-esteem onto just one person. It's too much for her to bear, and it's too much for you to bear. And so that last little piece, I spoke somewhat more in depth than I had planned to initially about caring versus caretaking. Caring says, I see you're hurting right now. I can walk with you in that. Let me know what you need, and I'll let you know how I can help you. I don't take responsibility for my partner's upsets. Instead, I walk with her and I stand at her side. So I hope this short video was helpful for you, brother. If it was, please check out links to my work below. Thanks so much for watching, and have a kick-ass day. Bye.